Hello, my friends. Welcome back to another episode of What They Don't Say. And when we get into the details of this shooter up there in Minnesota, the psycho that the mom tried to turn into a girl, there's a lot of weird things that just aren't being discussed. Like I said when we started this channel, we're going to talk about what they don't say because in every story, there's always stuff that the media is missing or leaving out on purpose. And one thing I noticed about my friends a long time ago, all the friends that I've weeded out from the general public, there's a bunch of good thinkers out there. There are a lot of people that see this stuff going on and wonder about it. So let's just share some information we can all wonder about. Every time one of these incidents occurs, we know the media is all over it. They set themselves up. They have the microwave trucks out there in the neighborhoods, everyone's focused on the house. They run down the mother if they can. They run down the father. They've done all that with this shooter. However, reports are all hinting or stating that the shooter recently ended a romantic relationship. Okay, we don't know who this person was that was in this relationship. If anybody is going to know the dirt, the inner workings of this twisted mind, it's going to be that partner. Why did this person break up? What the hell kind of person was dating this thing? We got no idea. I'm curious just to see what the hell was dating it. Was it a guy? Was it a girl? Was it another confused person? Who was dating this thing? And where are they now? Now, I don't believe for a second that all of these media outlets and all these cops, all these reporters and talkers, they didn't all just forget this. This isn't an oversight. Now, for some reason, the personal relationships, the social circles of this thing are being covered up. There's no reports about the police talking to it. I'm going to call it it. That's the pronoun for this romantic partner of the shooter. It's an it because we haven't even seen it. But when the police give their reports on the investigation, they don't talk about it. The father doesn't talk about it. The mother isn't talking to anybody except her lawyer. What the heck was this creature dating, and where are they? This person knows something. It turns out the kids that went to grade school with this shooter knew there was something wrong then. There was every kind of red flag. This thing was obsessed with mass shooters. It was obsessed with killing children. People knew this. There are red flag laws. Somebody in a gun shop with an FFL license watched that thing walk in, take those dainty little hands, pick up the guns, sign the papers, walk out of there in a state with red flag laws. Who in their right mind is going to look at this person and not think that there's a mental issue going on? Leave the guns alone, but for God's sake, you don't sell them to nutcases, okay? There's some culpability with it. I want to know about the gun store. I want this person interviewed. But where the heck is this romantic partner? This thing was sleeping with somebody or something. The terminology they use to normalize these people has really gotten out of hand. It started quite a while ago with the homophobic. Everything's a phobic. It makes it look like people who are opposed to something are just scared of it. But sometimes people are just disgusted by something. You ever think of that? It's not just because of fear. However, you want to talk about transphobic? A lot of kids who had never even thought about a tranny in their life were transphobic when they were hiding underneath the pews in that church. The school shooting, the mass murder scenes where these trans have showed up before, those people became transphobic in a moment. Yeah, so maybe it is a real thing. Maybe it should be. Don't forget that the two people busted for burning down and shooting up Tesla dealerships back when Musk was going through the Doge stuff, they were trans. What is it with these violent trans? Are people transphobic or are they just trans aware? Aware of the dangers of these people who are being used by the Democrat Party and fired up as activists. You know, when we had all this trouble with Islam, when it first started back around 2001 with the Twin Towers, the questions came out. Where were these guys radicalized? Who radicalized them? I think it's time we start asking ourselves this about these trans people. Where did they get radicalized? Who radicalized them? And that path leads straight to the Democrat Party. Now, according to the father recently, since the romantic breakup, it moved into an apartment with somebody else in another town. It's been bopping around quite a bit. Very unsettled life. I don't know why it wasn't living with mom anymore. I don't even know if mom and dad are still together. They don't appear to be, but there's no details on that either. But this thing has been kind of bouncing around a little bit. So after it got thrown out or it broke up with its romantic partner, we need to know what happened there. Did the romantic partner decide that this creature was getting too weird and just had to go? Were there warning signs there? How many warning signs got missed with this thing? Every step of the way, from the schools to the doctors, this stuff has gone too far and it needs to be straightened out. However, where is the information? Where are all these reporters that act like they just get to the bottom of everything? Find us that romantic partner. Find out who broke up. Let's hear from this recent roommate, the one that the thing was living here with the last few days. Where were they keeping the guns? Where was this thing keeping the guns? Was it a dad's house? Was it a mom's house? Was it all the same house? Where have the guns been stashed? Did these friends and partners know about the guns? What about the notebooks? What did they know about this? There's an awful lot that we're not hearing. The cops aren't talking about it. This is the job of journalists. Why am I the one asking these questions? Why haven't we heard this? Every news outlet out there is producing dozens of stories about this case. So why aren't they asking? Why haven't we seen this romantic partner? Why do we not even know the species of this romantic partner, let alone the gender confusion? Come on, there's something going on. Is this romantic partner a relative of somebody? Somebody significant? Somebody that doesn't want to be embarrassed? Are they the son or daughter of somebody big in business? Or city government or state government? Heck, Minnesota Vikings football team just hired a couple of gay cheerleaders. Is this person living with one of them? Are they living with one of the Minnesota bike queens? Come on, there's something going on. This person is being hidden. The romantic partner is being hidden, and there is a reason for it. They do not want us to know who or what that was. They don't want us to know for a reason. Who are they protecting? This has got to come out. I'll tell you, you journalists, I can't make the phone call and get anyone to answer me. The cops aren't going to tell me. They'll hang up. Somebody needs to get to the bottom of this. There's local reporters up there. That is their job. This is what they learn to do when they go to journalism school. They've got the sources. They've got the contacts. That's what they teach you in journalism school, how to develop these contacts. When they get the job at these news and radio stations, the TV and radio stations, you go in there and you have access to all of the contacts that the stations already have on file. They know who to talk to locally. They have the numbers. They have the emails. They have the text. They can contact these people. Get to the bottom of it, damn it, because there's a lot going on with this story that's still being covered up. I hope this got you thinking about something. I promise we talk about what they don't say. This is a big one. Please take a moment, like, subscribe, send us a comment. If you've got thoughts on this, there's probably something else that isn't being mentioned too. I don't know what it is at the time, but when it comes up, we're going to get to the bottom of it. If you've heard anything about this stuff, please comment. Let me know. Contact us. There's something very wrong with this story yet. Because for all the writing that's being done, there's an awful lot that they're not asking. Let's get to the bottom of this, my friends. We got to keep things on an even keel here. Maybe then God will continue to bless this great country of ours. Thanks for listening.